Have you ever wondered how does the lungs work? First, do you have wondered how many lungs do we have? You will be saying, obviously two, right? But do you know how they are divided? Well, they are divided into lobes. And do you know how many lobes does each lung has? Well, the right lung has 3 lobes because it doesn't need a space for the heart. But the left lung only has 2 lobes because the heart is located in the left side. So these are the lobes of the right side: the superior lobe, the middle lobe, and the inferior lobe. As you can see, there are 3 in the right side, and the left lobes are the superior lobe and the inferior lobe. But can you see that fissures that separate the lobes? Well, they are called the horizontal fissure and the oblique fissure, and in the left side is only the oblique fissure. It's easy, right? The only thing that changed is that in the right we have one more lobe than in the left. This structure is located inside of the thorax. Well, thanks to this structure we can breathe. But breathing is not only moving air inside the body. Breathing is get oxygen to divide it to the cells. Because, obviously, if we only breathe air without oxygen, we will be dead. But also we have more segments. Well, we have an entrance that is called trachea, that in the bottom part, it divides into 2 ways, one for each lung. And from each way, it comes the bronchus. And from the bronchus comes like some roots that are called bronchioles. But what makes the heart work? Is the last part of the bronchioles that are called alveoles. Why is the hardest part? Yeah, because here happens the exchange of the oxygen. So this is how it works. Imagine that this is an alveoli. The air enters here, and this will be the space full of air, right? But inside the alveoli, there's not only air, there's water too. Well, not exactly water. It's a thing that is called surfactant. It's a poor flexibility to it. But obviously, the alveoli has its alveolar membrane. It's like a layer that covers it. After that alveolar membrane, we have some collagenous fibers, like in the skin. Finally, we have our blood capillary. That is where the exchange takes place. So, what do we hear? Well, imagine that we have trains full of oxygen, so they enter to the train stations. And in the arteries, we have a railroad track with a big train with big wagons. The wagons are full of carbon dioxide, and they are empty of oxygen. Well, maybe they have some, but just a little bit. Why? Because what's important is the exchange. And why is important? It's important because the air that enters has 21% of oxygen. So, what makes the empty wagon is suck out the oxygen of the full wagon. But the other train cannot left with the empty wagon. So, like there's too much carbon dioxide in the other train, the empty train sucks out the carbon dioxide, and what do we get? We get the metabolic product of the cellular respiration.